Hello, everyone. It's a beautiful day. What is it like for you? Today, what I thought we would talk about is value. And when I'm talking about value, I'm talking about your personal value, the amount of value that you place on yourself, how much you think you are worth, not your financial worth, but your psychological worth. And I think value is a really interesting question because whenever I work with business owners, which I do a lot of the time, many business owners have a struggle to come up with what they think their services are actually worth to the market. So when they're coming up with a new service or they're creating a new business, even from scratch, and they're putting something out there into the marketplace, there's usually very low confidence levels in people doing this and going through this process because people are unsure about whether they should charge $100 or $1,000 or $500 or whatever the amount should be. They're unsure of their own personal value to the marketplace. And value is a really interesting conversation because in many situations, the person who's best placed to determine the value is actually the consumer. So I'll take an example in my life. So I'm a coach. I work mainly with executives and leaders and business owners and work in and around their well-being and a whole range of other elements in their life. And it can be really hard to come up with a figure that you should charge someone for coaching. But then I always come back to what happens if you are having a conversation with a client and you have one conversation with that client, and in that conversation, that client picks up a tip. Maybe they decide they're going to go and double what they're charging off the back of the conversation you've just had with them. So they go out into their business and they decide they're going to double what they're charging, which is what they do, and they end up having a whole different business model and a whole different amount of revenue generated simply from one conversation with me as a business coach. So in that example, if I was to ask that person what that conversation was worth, that person would say almost an unlimited amount. Like, how much is it worth to be able to then go out and charge twice what you were charging prior to that conversation? They would say a large amount is what they would say that was worth. But when I was actually costing the service, I would say it's worth X amount and I would put a figure on it from my own perspective and my own point of view. So what you have to remember when you're talking about value is that the consumer or the person is best placed to judge the value of your service. Normally, not always. That's not always the case, but very often it is the case. So I want you to think about your own world. What do you do? Where are you at? How do you come up with your charge rates? What is your hourly rate? What is your daily rate? What do you consider to be your worth? And is it something that you could look at increasing? Is it something that you could put an annual increase to? Is it something that you could put a larger increase to? Maybe you've won an award recently. I won Coach of the Year award last year. And so for me, that was amazing to be Coach of the Year. So if you think about your own life and what's going on in your own world, you'll soon be able to get some hints about your value and what you can do to increase your value to the marketplace. If you're interested in this and other related mindset sort of conversations that you like to have, I've written a book on mindset mastery called Being More Human. And all you need to do is to go to our Being More Human website and click on the shop, and then you can click to purchase your copy of the Being More Human Mindset Mastery book. Have a fantastic day. See ya.